Welcome back to Miniature Game Montage and another Warhammer 40k battle report. Nurgle's rot has been spreading across this planet for far too long. The Death Guard have marched, spreading a pestilence that will soon consume the planet. The Dark Angels and their renowned Deathwing are in orbit and are preparing to deep strike to repulse this threat. It's Deathwing versus Death Guard at 1,000 points. Really appreciate you watching this battle report today. If you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing. I try to make my battle reports concise and to the point. I also welcome any feedback in the comments below. The Dark Angels have a Deathwing Vanguard detachment led by Belial. He has his own Warlord trait. They have a group of 5 Deathwing Terminators with 2 Thunderhammer Storm Shields and a Cyclone Missile Launcher. Another group of 5 Deathwing Terminators with 2 Thunderhammer Storm Shields and an Assault Cannon. A third group of Deathwing Terminators with Lightning Claws and a Cyclone Missile Launcher that also has claws for point purposes. Lastly, a group of 5 Deathwing Knights. In total, the list clocks in at 1,000 points. The Death Guard are led by a Lord of Contagion with Reaper of Glorious Entropy. It's a relic. He has Arch Contaminator for his Warlord trait and has Virulent Fever on his weapon. 2 groups of Terminators will form the center, with both champions having a Combi Melta. Each group also has a Blight Launcher and a Flail of Corruption. 2 groups of Poxwalkers follow them into battle with a Plague Burst Crawler with Entropy Cannons and a Flesh Mower Bloat Drone. In total, 1,000 points. Today we are playing Divide and Conquer, an internal war mission. The objectives are to take and hold positions on the board. You can score 5 primary points for holding an objective in your command phase, 5 more for holding 2 or more objectives, and 5 more for a total of 15 for holding more objectives than your opponent. A special secondary objective is Lines of Demarcation, where you can score 4 points for controlling both objectives labeled A, or 2 points for objectives labeled B. The Dark Angels have selected secondaries that include Lines of Demarcation, Raise the Banners High, and Grind them down, while the Death Guard select Lines of Demarcation, Spread the Sickness, and Grind them down. And with the stage set, we're ready for turn 1, where the Dark Angels will be up first. And turn 1, the Deathwing Vanguard detachment takes them to 7 CP, and we're going to see advances from both of these Terminator units, and they're eligible to move up to 10 inches, one of them going up to the objective here. Belial is also going to advance behind them, trying to keep everyone in his 6-inch bubble. The other Terminator squad is going to do a move and then play an action to raise the banners high, and the Deathwing Knights are somewhere still up in orbit waiting to deep strike down. Dark Angel's turn concludes. We move over to the Death Guard. They play an advance on these Poxwalkers, moving up to 7 inches down the left flank. And then over on the other side, we have an advance, a 4 rolled up on these Terminators as they move down the center of the board. They do have that objective occupied at this point. The other Poxwalkers are just going to do a normal move. More Terminators are going to play an advance as they move into position. And the Lord of Contagion is also going to roll up an advance, keeping them within his aura range. The Bloat Drone is going to play an advance as well, rolling up a 5, so he skirts down the flank. And then the Plague Burst Crawler is going to move ever so slightly just to get line of sight downway to the Deathwing. The Poxwalkers are going to spread the sickness and take a mortal wound. A 6-up Feel No Pain is failed, but that objective is now corrupted. They will get victory points at the end of the game for that. And in the shooting phase, the Blight Launcher is an assault weapon, so it can fire after an advance. Needing force, however, targeting these Deathwing Terminators, he will get 1 hit, and he does need a 4 to wound me. That will fail. And then the Melta will fire out as well, also needing 4s. That will result in a hit as well as a wound, and it's going on to a Storm Shield, so I will take a 4-up invulnerable save. That save is going to be failed, and I'm immediately going to use a command point reroll here, taking me down to 6 to reroll that back out, and it fails, and that is going to be one of the Deathwing Terminators immediately brought down. Yeah, the Terminator unit also has a Blight Launcher, so it will fire into the Terminators as well, and it needs 4s due to the advance. Both of these are going to hit, and then 4s in order to wound. Both of those are good. Putting this on a Thunderhammer Storm Shield once again, so I will need to take 3-up saves here. One of these will fail. It will be 2 damage going on to a Storm Shield. The Death Guard play Disgusting Force for 1 CP as the Plague Crawler lines up a shot with the main cannon, and this changes the weapon profile of this weapon, and once they are hit, the other units in the surrounding area could take mortal wounds. So the main cannon is going into that shot up Terminator unit. The others are going to fire at the Terminator unit that is beside it. First rolling out a d6 for the main cannon to find out how many shots it's going to get, and it results in a 5. So 3s will be needed to wound here from that cannon, and it looks like 2 will go through, and then needing 4s to wound, rerolling 1s because it is a plague weapon, and that results in 1 wound. This goes back onto my Storm Shield, and I will be on a 4-up invuln save, and that save is going to fail, and that is another Terminator removed. Nearby units take a mortal wound on a 4-up. These Terminators and Belial are going to be hit by that, and then the Entropy Cannons let loose, targeting the other Terminator squad, hitting on 3s, and one of these is successful. It will do a wound to me, and this is AP -4, I think. It puts me on an invuln on a Storm Shield, which is a 4-up save, and that save will be made. The Heavy Slugger takes aim next with its 4 shots, hitting on 3s, and all of these are successful, and then needing 4s. Due to that permanent transhuman physiology type of rule on the Terminators, 3 of these go in, and it will be 2-up saves on the Storm Shield here that already has a wound on him. I'm going to roll these 2 at a time, and the first 2 are successful. The last one comes out and fails, and he will take a wound. And turn 1 comes to a close as both forces advance up the field. No points scored in this one. The Dark Angels were able to raise a banner, so they will be able to score a point here in their next command phase. The Death Guard were able to spread the sickness, getting them some in-game points. Turn 2, back over to the Dark Angels. Over in the command phase, Dark Angels control 2 objectives, scoring 10 points, +1 for Raise the Banners. The Deathwing Knights receive the signal to deep strike in on the objective here. And then in the shooting phase, the rest of the Dark Angels are going to remain steady to get Grim Resolve in the shooting phase. The Storm Bolters open up. I forget Bolter Discipline initially, but we're going to go back and fix that. Hitting on 2s, all of these go through. They're targeting the Terminators here, and then they need 5s in order to wound. 2 wounds go through. He does have one of these Terminators in cover, so that is going to give him a 2-up save here. Both of these are going to be successful. The Assault Cannon then launches shots into them as well, also hitting on 2s. Does get to reroll 1s due to Belial being close by. All of these are going to hit as well, and then 3s will be needed to wound. So out of those 6 shots, 5 wounds will go through. Once again, putting him on a 2-up save due to cover, rolling these out 2 at a time, and all of these are going to be good. The other Terminator squad is going to open up as well with their Storm Bolters, this time 3 taking aim at the enemy Terminator squad, and shots going out once again needing 2s and re-rolling 1s, and all of these are going to be good. So needing 5s to wound, it looks like 3 of these are going to hit the Terminators to wound, and then 2-up saves is negating my AP -1 due to the Tactical Doctrine, and those are all going to be good. Next up, we remember Bolter Discipline, so we go back and count these out. There's actually 10 more shots that are supposed to go out from these Storm Bolters as they are getting Bolter Discipline, and all of these shots are going to convert into hits as we do get to reroll 1s. And then once again, needing 5s out of these 10 dice, I'm only going to get 1, and that save is easily going to be made again, and we move on to the Cyclone Missile Launcher. 2 shots fire, once again needing 2s due to Grim Resolve, and both of these are going to hit. Higher strength on this weapon versus their toughness, so needing 3s, and both of those will convert to wounds. It is AP -2, but he does have 1 in cover, and he needs 3 ups. Both of these are going to be saved as well. The next group of Terminators will fire at the same target. We're going to open up with the Cyclone Missile Launcher this time, again, needing 2s due to Grim Resolve, and they do get to reroll 1s for Belial being near. Both of these shots are going to hit that enemy group of Terminators, and both will wound, needing 3s. Saves will be taken here, and they will be failed on double 1s. Contemplating a command point reroll, he will use it, and it will still fail. So I'm going to roll up a d6 each for the damage. Just roll 2d6 together, and it is -1 on the damage, so only 2 damage. So I'm going to use a command point reroll here to reroll one of these back out, hoping to get a 3, and that will take down one of the enemy Terminators. The Stormbolters take aim and fire, 3 Terminators shooting into the other Terminators, and 12 shots going out with Bolter Discipline, hitting on 2s and re-rolling 1s, and that will result in 11 hits, and then needing 5s in order to get a wound, and I get nothing here. So then Belial is going to take aim as well with his Master Crafted Stormbolter. He is going to fire once again, needing 2s, and the shots go out here. He is going to convert into 3 hits, and that will go to 2 wounds. 4 up saves being taken here, and both of these are still good. Moving into the charge phase, the Deathwing Knights hoping to get into contact with some Poxwalkers. Ferric Miasma being played, which minuses 2 to my charge, so I now need an 11. So going to roll this up and just narrowly going to miss, getting a 10, and that's going to bring the Dark Angels' lackluster turn to a close, but they will score 10 points on the primary +1 for Raise the Banner. And we're moving back over to the Death Guard for their turn 2. They will score 10 on the primary, and the Bloat Drone is going to move up the center of the board to contest the objective. Poxwalkers on the left flank move up to occupy this objective or contest it along with the Deathwing Knights. And then we've got Terminators that are moving up the center of the board, preparing to charge into some Deathwing. Poxwalkers on the bottom will advance, getting a total of a 7-inch move as they work their way towards the bottom objective. And then we've got the Lord of Contagion, who is going to move up the center, providing his aura. The Terminators are going to move as well, and the Plague Cannon is going to shift ever so slightly, continuing down the middle of the board. On the top objective, the Poxwalkers will spread the sickness as part of their action, and they will take d6 mortal wounds. That results in 1. The 6-up Feel No Pain is failed, so one of those will die, but that's going to be worth 3 victory points at the end of the game, and there's nothing that I can do about that. And now moving into the shooting phase, we've got some Terminators that are going to open up on the Terminators at the bottom of the board, and they've got a Storm Shield that has a wound on them. The Stormbolter rings out first with 4 shots, and he will need 3s in order to hit, and all of these will go through. Strength 4, Toughness 4, so 4s are needed, and that results in 3 wounds. This is going on my Thunderhammer Storm Shield, no AP, so just looking at 2-up saves. And I'm going to fail one of these and use a command point reroll here to get that back out. It converts into a 2, so he is staying alive for now. The last one is good as well. The Blight Launcher fires next, targeting the same squad, sinks 2 hits, and then needing 4s due to my permanent transhuman physiology. Still results in 2 wounds, and saves will be taken here, needing a 3-up, and both of those are going to be good on the Storm Shield. And then the Bolter will fire out, the Combi Bolter. Both shots miss. The Melta version of that fires as well, needing 4s. Shot misses as well. The next group of Terminators will target the same unit, and similar shots going out, starting with the Storm Bolters. And shots hit the deck here. He is going to use a CP to play Vermin Whispers, adding a +1 to his hit roll. So dice hit the deck here, hit in 2s, and re-rolling 1s due to the Lord of Contagion. And all of these shots impact the Terminators, and Strength 4, Toughness 4, 4 is needed to wound. That is only going to result in 2. So that again going on to my Thunderhammer Storm Shield, and he is going to be good. So we're going over to the Blight Launcher now. That is going to launch down at the same target. And this one is still going to be hitting on 2s and re-rolling those 1s. So 2 shots are going out, re-rolling the 1. Both will hit the Terminators, and then needing 4s in order to wound. 1 wound goes through, and I take a save here, and I end up failing it. And that's a 2 damage weapon. That Terminator goes down. The Copy Melta opens up as well, hitting on 2s and needing 4s to wound. That shot fails to find the mark, and then we move over to the big cannons as the Plague Crawler will open up fire against that wounded Deathwing Terminator squad. And how many shots is it going to get? 4 will be the number, and it's going to connect on 3s here. That's going to result in 2 hits. And this will do some damage to nearby units as well. That results in 2 wounds, just needing 4s. And then it is AP -2, so that's going to take me to a 4-up save. And both of those saves will be good. Disgusting Force was played, so on a 4-up, nearby units will take a mortal wound. Both of those units, including Belial, are okay. But then the Entropy Cannons are going to open up against Deathwing Terminators as well. 2 shots going out, needing 3s. One of these converts to a hit, and it does a wound, getting a reroll because it is a plague weapon, and that takes me to a 5-up invuln save. My storm shields have been eliminated. That is going to fail, and that is going to cut down one of the Terminators. The Heavy Slugger fires next, 4 shots, needing 3s, going into that same Terminator group. 3 of these are going to go through, and then needing 4s to wound. Results in 1 AP -1, takes me to a 3-up save, and of course that's failed, and I will take another wound on these Terminators, putting that one on the Sergeant. Now moving into the charge phase, the Blight Lord Terminators are going to charge into my Deathwing, and they roll up a 6 here, which is enough to get them into combat. They do not care about moving through the terrain. And the Dark Angels will spend a CP to Overwatch here. The Stormbolters fire out and miss. The Cyclone Missile Launcher hoping to get a hit here, but it will also miss. Continuing in the charge phase, the Bloat Drone will declare a charge into Belial, who is up against the wall here, will make this charge, and the Bloat Drone will be eligible to fight him through this wall. And the Death Guard Terminators are getting ready to do the butcher's work in close combat as the Flail of Corruption lashes out, gets 6 total attacks. Instead of making just 1, it gets 2 attacks each, so base 3, 6 dice go out, hitting on 3s. 4 of these will connect, and then needing 4s to wound here, as it does not matter what the strength of the weapon is against these Deathwing Terminators. AP -2 requires 4-up saves, and all of these are going to be failed, and that weapon alone completely wipes the Terminator unit out. The Bloat Drone then attacks Belial with his Flesh Mower, and 12 attacks going out. He does need 4s due to Belial's parrying blade, and 3 hits will go through. And this is going to be 4s in order to wound. That is going to result in 1, so 1 4-up save will be taken, and that will be made by Belial. Belial strikes back with the Sword of Silence, 4 attacks on 2s. All of these will connect, and then it needs 5s in order to wound, and we'll get 1 wound that goes through. AP -4 puts the Bloat Drone on a 5-up invuln. That is failed, but due to disgustingly resilient, it's only going to result in 2 wounds. It still has 7 remaining. And that brings turn 2 to a close as the Death Guard continue to march up the board, inflicting major casualties on the Deathwing. Our score at the end of 2, the Dark Angels have 11, and the Death Guard have 13 due to grind them down. As we move into turn 3, the Dark Angels will pick up 11 total points, 10 for the primary and 1 for Raise the Banners High. The Deathwing Knights are going to march forward towards those Poxwalkers, and the Deathwing Terminators are going to move as well, attempting to get some shots on those Poxwalkers to hopefully get some secondary points for Grind Them Down. The rest of the Dark Angels forces are going to remain stationary to maximize their fire. The Deathwing Terminators open fire at the Poxwalkers, and the Cyclone Missile Launcher fires first in a frag mode, so it's automatically going to get 12 dice. And they were nominated for Grandmaster of the Deathwing from Belial, so they will get to re-roll misses. But hitting on 3s here and re-rolling the misses, that turns into 11 of 12 shots that hit. and then strength 4 against toughness 4. 4s are needed to wound, and unfortunately the dice just going well below average today, and that results in 4 wounds. 4 6-up, feel no pains are taken by the Poxwalkers. They all fail. That'll be 4 of them taken down. The Storm Bolters fire next, 3 of them going out, 12 shots in total, with Bolter Discipline hitting on 3s. And again, re-rolling the misses due to Grandmaster of the Deathwing coming from Belial. Once again, that results in 11 of 12 shots that find the target. So now, rolling up, needing 4s in order to wound. We do get quite a few that go through here. That's 6 or 7. Feel no pains are taken, requiring 6 ups, and it looks like 2 will be kept alive, 5 cut down. Deathwing Terminators now fire into the other Terminators. The Assault Cannon goes first, 6 shots needing 2s due to Grim Resolve. We are re-rolling 1s due to Belial being close by. All of these are going to hit, and then this weapon does have a higher strength, so needing 3s to wound. Results in 5 wounds here, so 2-up saves will be taken as he's taking that on one of the Terminators in cover, and it looks like 2 wounds will go on to one of those Terminators. The Storm Bolters fire out next. There will be 8 shots on 2s due to Grim Resolve, and all of these are going to hit. We are re-rolling 1s due to Belial being close by. These weapons will need 5s to wound, however, and the result will be 3 wounds, 2-up saves being taken here as well, and all of these are going to be good. They're just soaking up bullets. In the charge phase, the Deathwing announce a charge into the Blightlord Terminators, easily making it into combat while staying on the objective. They are playing Fury of the First here for a CP, and that will give them +1 to hit to negate the Power Fist's -1 to hit. The Power Sword will go first, and it will get 4 attacks, and this will hit on 2s due to Fury of the First, and all of these are going to go through. We do still get to reroll 1s due to Belial being close by. And then it will need 5s to do wounds, however, so rolling those out, and that is going to result in 1 wound. The AP, I believe, is -3, which is going to put him on a 4-up invuln save, and he takes that save, and it is good. The Power Fists will go next, and we'll see 6 total attacks go out from them, and they need 3s to hit, as there's a +1 and a -1 modifier. 4 of these are going to go through. We are still re-rolling 1s due to Belial being close by. Results in 4 hits, and then needing 3s to do a wound. And it looks like 2 wounds will come across, and that is going to put him on his 4-up invuln save once again. He does fail both of these, and that will take down one of the Terminators as they do -1 damage, and then one of the other Terminators will take a wound. The Thunderhammer swings next, trying to take one of these Terminators down, again connecting on 3s. We do get to reroll 1s due to Belial being close by. Do get a few hits that go through, rolling to wound, however, needing 3s, both miss. So I'm going to use a command point reroll to get one of these back out, trying to kill one of these Blightlord Terminators, and it goes through, so that is going to put him back on a 4-up invuln, and he takes that and fails, but he is going to use a command point reroll, gets that die back on the table, and it is good. Continuing in the fight phase, the Bloat Drone attacks Belial with the Flesh Mower. 12 attacks coming out. We'll hit on 4s due to the Parrying Blade, but once again, another great roll coming out here, and it will need 4s in order to wound. He's going to get 6 total wounds that come across, and at AP -2, this is going to put me on a 4-up save. So taking these saves, I'm going to fail 3 of these, and I do reduce the damage by 1. That will take Belial from 5 down to 2 wounds remaining. Belial strikes back with the Sword of Silence, 4 attacks hitting on 2s, and 3 of these will go through. We'll need 5s in order to wound, however. It does cause a wound, and this thing is, I think, AP -3, so that's going to put him on a 5-up invuln save, which is going to be failed. So it is 3 damage, and the Bloat Drone will go down to 4 wounds remaining. Moving over to continue the fight phase, the Blightlord Terminators are going to fight into the Deathwing, and the Flail of Contagion coming out, a ton of attacks coming across. He does play Vermin Whispers for 1 CP, so he will be hitting on 2s. All of these are going to connect, and then needing 4s to wound, he gets all wounds. So taking these on the Thunderhammer Storm Shield 2 at a time, I'm going to end up failing one of these, and then I end up failing another. I will command point reroll that into a success, and then roll out 2 more successes to keep him alive with 1 wound remaining, but there's more attacks to come. 8 more attacks are coming across, and these will hit on 2s due to the stratagem Vermin Whispers, and then needing 4s to wound and rerolling 1s because they are plague weapons. That's going to result in 4 total wounds. I am going to take these one at a time on my Thunderhammer Storm Shield, and while I pass the first, I do fail the second. That takes him out, and then I end up failing the other saves as well, the other 2, and that'll put 2 wounds onto another Deathwing Terminator. And moving over to the Death Guard for the bottom of 3, they will score 5 points on the primary, and he will play 1 CP for the Dead Walk Again. And 7 dice rolled out needing 3 ups. He gets 6 of these. So 6 more Poxwalkers return to the fight over on the flank where they could not be eliminated, and they will lumber forward onto the objective. Continuing in the movement phase, we've also got Terminators that are going across the middle to back up their brothers that are in battle. We will see the Lord of Contagion move up the middle as well. And then the Poxwalkers down on the bottom are going to roll up and advance. They only get a 2 here that will allow them to move 6 inches, and they will move forward onto the objective as well. We also have the Bloat Drone who will disengage from Belial and move, and that will conclude the movement phase. We go over to shooting. The Blight Terminators target Belial with the Bolters. He does play Stand Firm, increasing his toughness to 5, and rerolling 1 on these Bolters due to the Lord of Contagion, and just a ton of hits that are going to come across. And does need 5s to wound here due to that stratagem played by the Dark Angels that results in 3. There's no AP here, so just 3 2-up saves. Belial still fails 1 of these, and he ticks down to 1 wound, and Melt-A-Shots are about to follow. The Bolter piece of the Combi Melta comes across. It will get 1 hit. That will not result in a wound. The Melta portion will fire now as well, needing 4s, and he does get to reroll 1s due to the Lord of Contagion being close by. That results in a hit, and then needing 4s to wound. He will get a wound, and that's going to put me on an invuln save, which I will make. And now moving over to the Blight Launcher, 2 more shots coming out from that. Both of these will connect on 3s, and then once again, needing 4s to do a wound. These wounds will come across, and it is going to put me on a 3-up save. 2 of these are taken. I do fail 1, so I'm going to use a CP to try to reroll to keep Belial alive, and it is successful. Belial is still standing with 1 wound remaining. But we're certainly not done yet, as the Plague Crawler takes aim with his Mortar Cannon. D6 shots will result in 3, and all of these are going to connect but 1. So 2 hits will come across, and then wounding on 4s. Both of those will wound, and I am in cover, so AP minus 2 will give me a 3-up save, and 1 of these will be failed, and Belial will be removed from play. Moving over to the charge phase, we've got some Terminators that are going to attempt to charge to back up their Terminators that are in contact with mine, and rolling up that charge, it does fail. The Lord of Contagion is also going to announce a charge into those Deathwing, and he will be successful, so he is moving into combat. In the fight phase, the Lord of Contagion is going to fight first, wielding that Relic Blade, and shots are going out. He will not CP reroll these. 4 hits will come across, and then he will wound me on 4s. And it looks like all but 1 are going to hit, and that 6 there is going to do mortal wounds, 2 of them. So that will take down 1 of the Terminators, and then I owe 5-up invuln saves on the rest. I am going to fail 2 of these, and I think they're 3 damage each. That takes out the rest of the squad. And that brings turn 3 to a close. The Death Guard will score 3 secondary points, bringing their total points to 21. The Dark Angels do have 22, but with the loss of units that they have suffered, scoring points for them will be a bit difficult going forward. Turn 4 coming up. Turn 4 kicks off for the Dark Angels. They score 5 points on the primary, and the Deathwing Terminators will move, bringing that bloat drone into line of sight, trying to get some secondary points for grinding them down. The Deathwing Knights are going to move forward as well towards the Poxwalkers and further on to the objective. And then moving into the shooting phase, the Cyclone missile launcher can see the bloat drone and will launch 2 crack missiles at it, and will be hitting on 3s, and both of these are going to go through. Does need 3s in order to wound as well, and it looks like both of these are going to fail. I am going to command point reroll this. It does turn into a success. That will put him on a 5-up invuln save, and he is going to make that save. And now the Stormbolters are going to let loose into the Terminators, and we're going to see about 8 shots that go out here, or 12 shots that go out with Bolter Discipline. And 8 hits converts to 4 wounds, needing 5s. Did stay in the tactical doctrine, but the cover will negate that. All the saves are good, just needing 2s. And then the Deathwing Knights roll up a 4 on their charge as they engage the Poxwalkers, hoping to wipe them off this objective to potentially get some points for turn 5. And 4 swings from the flail, needing 2s, and 3 1s are rolled, so only 1 hit is going through, and then missed the wound as well. So nothing happening on the flail. The Mace of Absolution, they will lash out from the other Terminators, needing 2s. Again, getting a lot of 1s in here that have to be removed, and they will wound on 2s as well. And once again, just some lackluster rolling from the Deathwing Knights. These guys do get 6-up Feel No Pains, 1 already good. And it does look like at the end of all these dice rolls, there will be 2 Poxwalkers remaining, so they were unable to carve through that squad. The Poxwalkers do retaliate, come close to getting a wound, but do not. And we move over to the Death Guard for the bottom of 4, where they score 10 points on the primary. And then we've got Terminators that start to move forward. We have the other Terminators that are also moving forward towards the back objectives. And then we've got the Lord of Contagion that is going to move towards that objective as well. The Poxwalkers are going to move up, getting ready to spread the sickness on this objective to guarantee 3 more victory points. The Poxwalkers engaged with the Knights will disengage, and the Bloat Drone is going to move up onto that objective as well. 3 Poxwalkers die to spread the sickness, and in the shooting phase, the Plague Crawler is going to play Disgusting Force. D6 shots gets 3. Looks like one of these will connect, and that will turn into a wound. It will put me on a 3-up save with my Storm Shield, which will be good. The Entropy Cannons are also going to fire at that unit as well, and we'll have shots that connect here, and that's just going to put me on a 4-up save for my Invuln, and that will fail, and it's D3 plus 3, so that will outright kill one of the Knights. Shots from the Heavy Slugger also go out. Several of these will connect. It results in 1 wound, and just a normal 2-up save here will be taken, and that is good. We also have some other Terminators that are going to start shooting into the Deathwing. The Blight Launcher will fire first, and both of these shots will connect. He does get to reroll everything on the wound roll due to being in Arch Contaminator range, but both these shots go through, both wounds will go through, and this will require 3-up saves with the Terminator that's in cover, and it looks like I'm going to fail one of these, and 2 wounds will be taken. The Combi Melta fires next, first in Bolter mode, needing 4s. Both shots are going to miss, and then firing in the Melta version as well. Shot will not connect. The other Terminator squad is going to fire at that same Deathwing Terminator squad, and they lash out first with their bolters, and it looks like 8 shots going through, and all of these are going to hit. 6 wounds convert. I end up failing at 2 saves that are 2-ups. That's going to kill the one in cover and apply a wound to another Terminator. The Combi Bolter fires 2 shots hitting on 4s. One of these will connect with the target, and then it will do a wound. There's no AP here, so just a normal 2-up save, which is good. Now firing the Multi-Melta version of that, and that will miss. The Blight Launcher now going in as well, and that will get 2 hits, And then rolling these out to wound, needing 4s. That results in getting to reroll due to the Arch Contaminator. 1 wound will go through at AP -2, 4-up save required, and is made. In the charge phase, the Bloat Drone rolls up a 3, easily makes it into contact with the Deathwing Knights. And then we've got 3 charges going into the other Deathwing Terminators. First, coming from the Terminators, coming through the wall here, they easily make it into contact. The Lord of Contagion rolls up really well too, also making it into contact, and the other Terminator squad rolls well too, and they will bring into contact with these Terminators as well. So we're going to have 3 units going against this one, not looking too good for this Deathwing squad. Moving to the fight phase, the Bloat Drone will get us started. 12 attacks from the Flesh Mower into the Deathwing Knights, hitting on 3s. He does have a pretty good roll that comes out here, and he will get to reroll once on the wound roll due to it being a plague weapon. And dice hit the deck, and it's going to be 6 wounds that go through. So the weapon is AP -2. The Storm Shield's bringing that to a 3-up save for the Deathwing Knights. And dice coming out for the Deathwing Knights, and all of these are going to be good. And additional attacks coming across in the center. I could show them to you, but I think you probably know what happens with the amount of attacks that are going to hit these Deathwing Terminators. They are eliminated, and we've got consolidation moves taking place by the Death Guard. Moving back over to the Deathwing Knights, they are going to strike the Bloat Drone here in the fight phase. First, the Flail comes out, 4 attacks hitting on 2s, and one of these will go away. So there will be 3 more that go through, needing 5s here in order to do a wound, and 2 go through. So at AP -3, this is going to put him on his 5-up invuln, and he's going to fail one of these. But due to Disgustingly Resilient, it's only going to do 1 wound, so he is still alive with 3 wounds remaining. The Maces of Absolution are going to strike next with 9 attacks hitting on 2s. All of these are going to be good, and then it needs 3s in order to wound, and all 9 come across. So the dice finally coming into a good roll for the Dark Angels. And there's going to be numerous fails here from the Bloat Drone on his 5-up invuln, and this guy is going to explode. And turn 4 comes to a close. The Dark Angels scoring 6 points that round, bringing their total up to 28. The Death Guard scoring 14, as they did get 4 bonus points for controlling both A objective markers, both teams eliminating 1 unit, so grind them down, not scored. Moving into turn 5, we are going back to the Dark Angels to see if they can salvage anything from this mission. And starting off turn 5 for the Dark Angels, they do outrank these Poxwalkers with OBSEC. Really quick turn as they eliminate them in the fight phase. And then back over to the Death Guard, there is movement towards the Deathwing Knights. We're going to have 6 shots that come across from the Plague Crawler, and it does some pretty good damage to these Deathwing Knights in the shooting phase. I have a pretty poor save roll, 2 1s out there, and that essentially eliminates 2 of the Deathwing Knights, and he is going to eliminate the rest in close combat in the fight phase. So starting to wind this game down, the Death Guard did pick up 15 points on the primary in turn 5, plus a horde of bonus points on the secondary, 9 for spreading the sickness, 3 for grind them down, 4 for controlling objectives A, and 2 for controlling objectives labeled B. Total of 33 points for the Death Guard in turn 5 will easily give them the victory over the Dark Angels today. Final score, Death Guard 68, Dark Angels 33. And if you've made it this far in the video, I would like to say thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. I would like to say thanks to Jimmy for bringing his Death Guard over today. I learned quite a few things in this game. I've been struggling a little bit with Warhammer 40k lately, just with the amount that I have to memorize in order to get things right, but hopefully the video was still enjoyable for you. I would also like to say thank you to the 2021 Coffee Supporters Club. Really appreciate your support. If you would like more information on that, feel free to check the link in the description. And as always, guys, we will see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed this one. Take care for now.